How would you like to be able to read people's minds? Wouldn't that be awesome? Anyways, yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today is being able to really read behind what people are saying. Because if you understand some of these techniques, the law of attraction and some of the parts of the law of attraction, such as perception is projection, is a tool that you can use to understand the world around you. And what it means, all perception is a projection, means that you can only see in other people that which exists inside of you. So what we do is we tend to take all the things that we don't like about ourselves and the things that we like about ourselves as well. We take all that stuff and we project that out onto the world around us. And so what we see represent different aspects of ourselves. And we actually designate certain people and we behave in a way that we bring out that which we need to see in them, because what our subconscious mind wants is to resolve the crap that's going on. And so if you don't like somebody for some reason, and I'll get this sometimes, I just had this recently, somebody says, oh, I don't think that so-and-so likes me. And it's like, okay, that's very interesting, because I know that when somebody says that, what they're really meaning is that, they don't, it's their dark side, so they can't see it. And it's actually them who doesn't like that person that they're talking about. But you don't realize that when you're saying it. Like, so when you're saying, I don't think that so-and-so likes me. And what you're doing really is justifying that you don't like that other person. And so that's what people do in general when they're talking about somebody like that, and they say that they don't like that they don't think that other person likes them. It's really what they're saying is that they don't like that person, but they're not admitting that. And of course, because that other person doesn't like them, then it justifies them to not like them and do things that indicate to that other person that they don't like them. And so what you end up doing is doing more things that irritate this other person so that they'll bring out more of the aspects of them that you don't like. But really what's going on is your subconscious mind wants you to be okay with that aspect of yourself. Because the part of you that, pick the person that you like the least, the person that irritates you the most, and that aspect about them that just drives you nuts, and that is just like you. And I know it's hard to take. It's hard to take. It was really hard for me to swallow it as well, and it makes it really hard to believe that all perception is a projection when somebody says something like that. And that is what holds a lot of people back from progressing and becoming their more authentic self, is because they won't allow themselves to see that aspect of themselves that they don't like. And so are you exactly like that person? Are you doing that? What is it that you're doing? And it's up to you to figure out how that person is like you and what it is that you need to do to become okay with that aspect of yourself and heal that aspect of yourself. And when you do that, that other person changes. And it's not like, quite often what we do is we try to change that other person to suit us so that they behave better for us, and that'll fix them. But that's not the way it works. When we change ourselves and we change what's inside of us, and then what happens is that we project a different us at that person, and we get a different reflection back from them. So they change, their behavior around us changes, and a different part of them comes out. Because all of us have different mass, and we have different ego states that come to the executive when we're in a certain situation. So if you're with somebody who, you think doesn't like you, then you're going to be a more defensive version of you, and that version is going to be coming out rather than the nice friendly version of you. Then what's going to happen is you're going to get the nice friendly version of this person instead of that one that's mean and you think doesn't like you. It's all counterintuitive, but really what happens is that you become okay with that aspect of yourself, and then when you see that person and you're okay with that person, in fact, if you can see that person and hold love for that person, then that means that you've healed and you love that aspect of yourself as well. And then you can be your more authentic self. So all perception is a projection. And when you look at it as a tool that you can use, then you can see that everything around you is a projection. So it's not just the stuff that you don't like, you project the stuff that you like the stuff that you love about other people and admire about other people are aspects that your subconscious mind wants you to cultivate and bring out of yourself as well. It wants you to be more like that. And some of the aspects are things like things that we don't like in other people that they do freely, but we suppress that stuff in ourselves, so we would like to be more like that. So somebody who's like, say, OCD and sees somebody who's sloppy and they get mad at them, well, it's because they look at them, they're a slob, and that's what the things that they say to that sloppy person are exactly what they would think and say to themselves if they were to behave in that way. And so and it might have been words that were repeated and said to them by a parent or a grandparent or something back in the day, but these words echo in your head, and it creates these conditions that we get. So when you project, when you look at the world outside of you, it's a tool to be used, like all your emotional reactions to different people and different situations are information for you. It's all feedback so that you can figure out what it is that you need to work on yourself. So it's not that somebody upset you about something and they shouldn't be doing that thing that upsets you. When you take ownership of your life, then you know that by accepting responsibility, that whatever that person said, that effect that it had on you, you have unresolved emotional trauma there. And if you sit down and deal with that emotional trauma and clear it out, then that person no longer has that power over you anymore. That's how you take your power back. So all perception is a projection, and as you learn how to use this tool, you'll better be able to understand the people around you and what they're saying. And when they say to you that, say you're starting a business and they're looking at it and say, oh, yeah, that's not going to work. Well, okay, so if it was them in their situation trying to do what you're doing, they would fail at it. And of course, they don't have the experience and the training and all that other stuff that you have. So of course they would fail at it. They don't even like doing what you do. So of course they're going to say that you're going to fail because that's from their perspective. It is not about you, it's always about them. So remember that on the other side of the coin here is that when people are talking to you, they're always projecting on you. There are some cases where somebody's projecting on you and it's true. Like, say you're the one, somebody's OCD and they're calling you a slob. Well, you could be neat. You could be a clean and tidy person, and the dust inspector here found 2 specks of dust on your desk and you're a slob, right? So their perception is skewed, so it doesn't make them right. And if you go the other way, maybe you are a little bit slobby, but who cares, right? That's not a concern for you. You're not a control freak, right? So you don't have to have control over everything. So you got to realize that they are projecting on you, and it doesn't make their judgment on you true, and also it doesn't make it false. So all data that you get from people, you get that information from them for a reason. You elicited that information out of them, and you have information that you can use to figure out what you've got to do to get over whatever trauma that it is that's causing that negative emotion for you, and get over it. You know, it's time to get over it. It was probably something that happened when you're like 3 years old and you're still stuck with it. So it's time to get rid of that and clear that stuff out. And hypnosis is a great tool for clearing all those negative emotions. And you can go and check out my emotional detox videos. I got a few of them out there now, and I'm going to do some more. And that's one of the first things to do, is to clear out all those negative emotions that you had. So look for one of those videos. You know, for more hypnosis, you can hit my website at jeffbroomfield.com, and you can book yourself a free strategy session where we can figure out whether or not hypnosis can get you the results that you really want. And you can also make sure that you like my channel here. Make sure you like my video, subscribe, and till next time, have a good one.